He hosts the afternoon drive show from 4 to 7, and he is truly my hero. He's a true patriot, and he is a true American citizen. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Simon Conway.
Hello, my fellow patriots! Who's here for the Constitution? Okay, who's here for Sarah Palin? You know, we have to fight the language that's coming from the left. We're terrorists, right? We're holding the country to ransom. We Tea Party people are just itching to find some black people to hang from a tree. I know, that's the language we're facing from the Liberals, from the Congressional Black Caucus. From these people who invoke Martin Luther King about as often as I take my dog Reagan for a walk. They invoke him, but apparently they didn't pay any attention to him whatsoever and to what he dreamed. The mere existence of a Congressional Black Caucus would have been hugely offensive to Martin Luther King, who longed for a day when his children and his grandchildren would be judged by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. But you know what? We have to rise above the garbage that's being spewed by these hate-filled people. We've got to deal with some real issues facing the country, facing these greatest of all nations. You know, yesterday morning, the new unemployment figures came out. The United States, exactly right, added 0 jobs in the month of August. 0. We've not seen that since 1945, when we were involved in a little spat that I like to call World War II. And you know, you would think that considering he's told us over and over again that jobs is his #1 priority, that the President might have had something to say about this shocking number. Didn't happen. He left the White House aboard Marine One first thing yesterday morning and went for a nice long weekend at Camp David. Not one word to the millions of Americans who are out of work. And so next week, he's going to address a joint session of Congress to unveil his master plan. I can hardly stand the anticipation, can you? The big miracle, our savior to the rescue. Of course, this does remind me a little bit of that movie Groundhog Day, you see, because on September the 4th, 2010, that is 1 year ago tomorrow, this is what the President said to the nation. He said, "We are doing everything we can to accelerate job creation. The steps we have taken to date have stopped the bleeding. Investments in roads and bridges and high-speed rail will lead to hundreds of thousands of jobs in the private sector. Tax cuts and loans for small business owners who create most of the jobs in America." Did I miss something? All these hundreds of thousands of jobs in the private sector, all these loans to small businesses creating millions of jobs. Did I slip through that? Did you? You see, if he was really serious about creating jobs, then the first thing he has to do is to remove the massive uncertainty that business is experiencing because of his failed and unconstitutional healthcare law. If he was serious about helping the economy, then he would cut short his long weekend and get back to the White House and tell the nation that when the country gets back to work on Tuesday, the first thing he is going to do is repeal Obamacare. But you know what? If he doesn't do it, we're going to do it for him. We've also got to talk a little about illegal immigration. That's something that's a little bit close to my heart, as you might understand. You know, all presidents have used executive orders, but to enact major legislation that they couldn't get through Congress by using executive orders is not something that we've seen very often. The president can't get cap and trade passed. Solution? Gives the EPA powers that most communist secret police would be proud of. Even with a Democrat-controlled House and Senate, the president couldn't get the so-called DREAM Act passed. What does he do? He issues an executive order to do a run around Congress, and I've got to tell you it's far worse than that. He not only did a run around Congress, he did a run around the judiciary as well. Some 300,000 cases of deportation before our courts are going to get individual review. Think about that. 300,000 cases. Some of them will have already received final orders of deportation from a judge, but the president just overruled the judge. Where's the outcry, the shock, the sense of outrage coming from the United States Congress? Where is it? From the senior judges, from the mainstream media, where is it? I got to tell you, as a legal immigrant and very proud citizen of the United States of America, I am horrified. In case you don't know, this is what he did. If you are illegal and in this country and attending school, you're allowed to stay. If you are illegal in this country and have a family member serving in our military, you're allowed to stay. If you're illegal in this country but have primary responsibility for the care of other family members, then you're allowed to stay. And if you're one of the 300,000 that might have already received a final order of deportation, then your case is going to be individually reviewed by someone in Washington, D.C. And of course, they're so efficient up there, it's going to take, what, a couple of weeks, you think? Something like that. And by the way, while you're waiting for this to happen, if you fall into any of the other groups as well, then you're going to be given a work authorization document, which is going to enable you to compete for jobs with real Americans right now. This is nuts. In case there is any confusion left in this audience, that is amnesty. I hope you're going to join me. I hope you're going to continue to fight for our republic, to make sure you are informed and stay informed. You see, right now we've still got 14 months to go until the next election. 14 months until we get to tell those dirtbags who have worked so hard to destroy our nation that it is time to go home and to stay home. This is a never-ending road that we're on. This will never stop. Your fight will never stop. And I've got to tell you, if it does, freedom itself will probably stop. It's a never-ending road, and we don't like to hear it because we're lazy. I'm lazy. We have other things that we'd rather do. This is grand. This is fantastic. It's magnificent. And really, God bless you for coming out today. Really, give yourself a round. Especially to the people who slept under the stars out here last night. But I got to tell you, this is for nothing. For nothing if you simply go home and say what a great day this was. We have to stand up. We have to stand up for our children. I have to stand up for my daughters Lauren and Rachel and for their children. That is like a long way in the future, their children. Because this is really about saving the republic. I've lived through where we're headed. I tell you that on the radio all the time. And I'm telling you right now, our very republic is at risk. Are you ready to tell those dirtbags in the White House that we've had enough? We've had enough of czars. We've had enough of the contempt they treat us with. We've had enough of the president trying to legislate through executive order. You know, they say to people like us, we're crazy. We're the far right. We're the nut jobs. They're wrong. They couldn't be more wrong. This is the center of America. When you stand up for the Constitution, this is the real America, the center of America, and we're standing up right now. I got to tell you that really, the reality is the only people who think we're on the far right when we fight for the Constitution and when we believe in the Constitution are King George and the new royalty at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. My promise to you is that I will continue to fight each and every day with every single breath I have. I'm going to continue to fight for the Constitution. I will use everything within my power to do that. My radio show right here in Iowa, wherever I'm on the radio in the country, I will do whatever I can to fight for the Constitution. And by the way, also for the preservation of the Second Amendment. God bless you for coming out here today, really. And God bless the United States of America.